Hey, what's up, you guys? This is Eddie Wall, and I'm here with production manager Jared White at the Never Summer factory here in Denver, Colorado. Jared, how you doing?
Doing good. What's up, guys? Great to have you all here.
So this next week is a really big week. What we're going to be doing is spending the next 4 days here at the Never Summer factory, and we're going to be building a board from absolute scratch. So we're going to take you through the entire process from the core to pressing it to the graphics to putting the edges and everything. So it's going to be a pretty awesome experience, and you guys are really going to be able to learn a lot. I have a phone here in my hand, so please comment any questions you have, whether it's for Jared or anybody else, and we will get them answered for you. Also, once we go into the factory, it is really loud, so if the volume is ever weird, let us know. And also, if we're not answering them right away, we're going to come back into the offices here and answer them after we're finished the tour. Also, the board is being given away at the end at the Snowboard on the Block Festival, which is this October 14, 15, Friday and Saturday, down here in Denver, Colorado. So we're going to raffle the board off. It's going to be amazing. Jared, let's first, wait, before we go in, I have to get my, here we go. Get my shades on, and now I'm ready to go. Okay.
All right, guys, got a lot to show you.
Let's go. Oh, we're going this way. All right. Okie dokie, here we go. So yeah, this place is really big. It's a lot bigger than I expected. And I think one of the things you're going to find out is that I'm learning as we're doing this that a lot more goes into making a snowboard than I thought. You might think it's robots or computers or something, but I would say 90% of this is all handmade, handcrafted stuff. It's amazing. It's unbelievable. Yeah. So I'm going to shut up now and let Jared start giving us a bit of a tour. So what do we have here?
So this is kind of where it all starts, guys. We got our raw materials here. So we've got core blocks. They get cut down into the individual boards. We've got all of our sidewall P-Tex over here. Bunch of raw goods. Rolls of plastic that becomes base material over here.
So does this come? How do they squeeze all these pieces of boards together? Because if you look close, these are tons of different boards.
Yeah, they're vertically laminated wood right here, and it's a bunch of different, basically like 1 by 4 inch pieces of wood that they clamp together with glue in between each one. We have those done by our block manufacturer. Then from this point, we're going to actually take them down, shape them, and then cut them down into the individual cores, which I'm going to show you next.
And one of these blocks makes roughly how many cores?
We get about 7 snowboards out of each block.
Okay. Yep. All right, let's keep moving.
Yeah, let's go. All right, so this is our wood shop here where we take that block and turn it into a tangible snowboard core. Mimo's over here. He's got his core block ready to go, so this is going to become the board that we're giving away here on Saturday at Snowboard on the Block.
So this is actually going to be the core of the board that we give away on Saturday.
That's correct. So what he's doing first, he's just going to trim off a little bit of the drop that we don't need for the specific length.
All right, we're about to get crazy here. Oh, it's getting loud. Circular saws. Crazy. Let's see. We're getting check out some of these comments right here. Okay.
Now he's going to go ahead. For every size and model, we've got a different template with a different side cut radius. So he's clamping that block onto the template. He's going to run it through this bandsaw, and that's going to give you that general side cut that we're going to have in the end product.
Okay, crazy. So they make, so this board will actually have this side cut. All 7 of these boards will have this same side cut.
Yeah, so each block we make goes into one size, one model. So every size and model has its own template.
And you are seeing side cut in the making right now. Okay, so, and then this is wild. Yeah. It's super loud in here, and hopefully you guys can hear us. Well, okay. We're getting the side cut laid on the board that we're going to be giving away at Snowboard on the Block Festival.
It's all a very hands-on process.
All right, let's go. Where are we going next?
Now we're going right here.
Okay.
This is,
Whoops, sorry.
this is our Helma machine, which it'll trim a little bit off that side, and it'll basically follow that template exactly so it gets a very perfect symmetrical side cut. That bandsaw basically takes off the trim. This is what gets it to perfection.
Oh, that's what I was wondering. So the bandsaw is a little bit of the rough cut,
Exactly.
and then this really gets it. Because I was like, wow, that's, you guys, side cut's such an important thing. I thought that was kind of a quick process. So this really dials it in.
Yep, exactly. This has router bits that follow that template and just trim it down. You'll see some router shavings shooting out here in just a second.
Oh, yeah. Oh, here, look, let's come over here. Oh, boy. So right now, we are running this through the side cut. What is the name of this machine again?
The Helma machine.
The Helma machine. And this is making that perfect side cut. It's unbelievable. It's extremely smooth. And as you can see, it's like lining up amazing side cut. This is crazy, dude. I'm hyped. Where are we going after this?
Tyler's gonna grab it now. Tyler, say what up. You're
What up?
live.
How's it going?
Live on Facebook. And we're gonna glue on the side. We're gonna glue the sidewall P-Tex on now.
Okay, time to glue the sidewall P-Tex on now. I'm pretending I know what I'm talking about. This is mayhem. It's absolutely craziness here. Never Summer Factory Tour in Denver, Colorado. We got the microphone here because it's super loud. Thank you so much, Memo. All right, here we go. We're wandering over here. Don't trip on the cord.
Watch out, don't trip.
So now, what's going on here?
All right, so now he's going to attach the sidewall. So this is what basically encases the snowboard in the board. So the sidewall will be all around the perimeter of the board, so no wood is exposed once we have the finished product.
Okay, so one thing I'm learning right now is that, so essentially, at least in the beginning, you're making quite a few snowboards at one time.
Yeah, we usually block things anywhere from 35 boards of one size model at a time to like up to 300 if we're in the off season where we can just crank them out. This time of year we're doing a bit more of a mix because we have all of our orders shipping. So yeah, we'll typically do 30 to 35 of each size of model, and we're doing about 7 different sizes a day. So we're producing around 200 snowboards a day right now.
200 snowboards a day. So right now they are about to put on the sidewall, and this is actually pretty important because the sidewall is one of those things that can definitely pop off and delaminate. So this is a pretty serious process.
Yep, definitely need to make sure that there's glue evenly spread between the core and the sidewall. They're also going to be putting a rubber strip between the sidewall that really helps with the bonding on that. And they're going to use these big clamps, as you see over here to the right, and that's how they're going to actually clamp it on, let it cure overnight. By tomorrow, it'll be ready to go.
Oh, this is wild, man. This is so crazy. So if you do go to Snowboard on the Block this weekend, Friday and Saturday here in Denver, Colorado, you're watching your actual snowboard get built right now, which is pretty damn amazing. Let's see, Ravi Sarma. I've always been interested on how snowboards are made. Thank you for streaming this. Well, you're welcome, Ravi.
Happy to be here.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited because I've snowboarded a long time, and I haven't seen. I really haven't been in a snowboarding factory of this size ever in my life. So I'm pretty blown away at this process.
Yeah, definitely a lot of steps, a lot going on. Yep. So Jed's putting that glue on the rubber now. He's rolling it in, making sure it's completely saturated.
No shortcuts. We don't want any D-lamps.
Yeah,
no.
Jed's an expert in his trade here, so. Yep. Jed's spent about 2 years here in the factory now. Is that right, Jed? About 2? Yep, and he also helps with a lot of photography as well. So we have a lot of guys who work here in the shop who also get involved in kind of extracurricular activities on the side, whether it be working demos or just events that we do. So we all try to stay really involved in the industry as a whole.
That is awesome. All right, so now
Now it's time to clamp them up.
All right, here we go. We are now coming over to, we're laying up the sidewall. And, okay.
So these pieces of wood here, those come off. Those are just basically to just help spread the pressure between the clamps. And then he's going to throw those on. He'll put 4 on each side and then let them cure. Since we don't...
Whoa, that is a serious stack of clamps. Holy.
We use them all every day.
So then essentially you're gluing this whole thing to it, but then do you shave this piece down?
Yes.
Okay.
We'll router that down so it's flush with the core.
Okay.
And then for sake of time, since we don't want to wait 24 hours for this to cure, we'll go over here. We've got a block already prepped.
All right. This is crazy. If you're just tuning in, we're at the Never Summer factory here in Denver, Colorado, and we are building a snowboard from absolute scratch over the next 4 days. And today is day 1, which is mainly focused on the core and some of the edges.
So this is where he's going to take that router. He's going to trim any excess sidewall off to make it really nice and flush.
Okay. Oh, we're going to get destroyed. That's why we have our safety glasses on. I was going to stand right in front of that.
Yep. No one wants the face shot.
Whoa. Oh, we would have actually gotten blasted in the face. Okay, I'm glad we moved. So, as you can see, this is a very, very hands-on process. I mean, essentially, the entire boards are just built by humans.
Yep, that's right. I mean, very little is automated. We have a CNC machine that we use for our split cores and for cutting out the longboard side of things, but as far as the snowboards go, like the actual boards being built are pretty much all by hand. You'll see here in a minute we do have some CNC tapering machines, stuff like that for core flex, but yeah, we get dirty.
All right. All right. So now we are cruising to the next zone. This is really exciting, by the way.
This is our horizontal bandsaw, so if you get close with the camera there, you can see there's a blade that goes across. We set that.
Oh, it's getting loud.
Yep. So we set that blade to the thickness of the core that we want, and then this conveyor belt just sends the block through, and we'll just send that block through 7 times until each one of the cores has been cut from it, and then we'll go drill the inserts out and get it tapered.
Oh, so you can see that's the first core. That block is going to make 7 cores. All right, that's our first core coming out. This is insane. It's very loud in here. Hopefully you guys can hear us. And just so you know, we are going to take questions, but we will answer them later when it gets a little bit more quiet. We're going to head into the office. So that's a core. We just made a core. This is insane. Bam. It's looking like a snowboard.
Yes, sir. Let's take it on over.
All right, this is, wow. My mind is blown. So now, I don't know what the next step is. I'm a newbie. I'm just learning this just like you guys. But after a long time of snowboarding, I'm finally learning. Oh, geez, here we go.
Flat sanding it. So we're flat sanding the core right now. So what we're doing is we're taking out any bandsaw marks or any imperfections in the deck height of the board that came from that bandsaw. So
Come up.
all flat sanded. The snowboard core is just one single thickness throughout. And then we'll come back over to this machine here in a bit, and we'll actually taper it to get different thicknesses throughout the core, which will create the flex.
Oh, crazy.
Ready to throw one out, Mimo? Let's do it.
Okay. We're all over the place. Oh. It's absolute mayhem here. Okay.
All right. We've got the core over here now. Now, as you see, there's no holes for the inserts where you screw the bindings to. So what we're going to do now is drill those holes out where those metal inserts go. So if you look over here to the right, we've got our big meaty drill. It's got 24 heads on it. It's going to drill all 4 of those holes at one time.
So right now we are drilling the inserts. How do they get them all centered?
Okay, so you see over here we've got this clamp with the block on it.
Yeah.
We'll measure it out. We also can adjust the width of the stance. There's a slider track there. So yeah, we just measure it all out before we set it up. Then we'll do our first core, make sure, we'll double check all the measurements, make sure everything is dialed, and we'll go knock out the whole model.
We just drilled some inserts. No big deal. We just got the inserts in the core, so now we can actually put bindings on this thing. Okay, let's This is really, really cool. Now, all right, what's next?
Now, this right here is just putting a little bit of a channel on the bottom of the sidewall of the core. That allows for the teeth of the edge to sit nice and flush so you don't get a bump in your base. So after this is finished, I'll pull it out and kind of show you the depth that we're talking about here. All right. So yeah, you can see right here, if you look really close, there's a little bit of a lip right when you get to the wood. That just allows for spacing for the edge keys to sit in there nice and flush.
Oh, crazy. This is wild.
Oh. And then from here, he's just going to go and he's sanding that. So that machine has a blade on it which cuts it. This machine sands it, roughs it up so things stick and bond really well. Yep. One of our main things here is trying to make the most durable boards in the world. So we have a lot of steps that we do to really ensure that everything bonds together really well and makes a real solid product. So
yeah, it's funny. Every step I've seen so far, I'm like, oh, this is cool, and then there's about 4 more steps in order to perfect that particular thing, whether it was the side cut or the inserts or the layers for the edging.
Yep. Don't cut any corners around here. Come with me. We'll profile the core.
It's happening.
So this machine is a CNC sander. It's programmed for every size of model. It's got a different profile. So this is going to make the tip and tail a little thinner so you have that flex, and then whatever profile we want in the middle is what puts this in. So right now we're sitting this through and it's one single thickness. As it comes out the other side, it's going to be the profile core with the flex we're looking for.
Okay, so before this, all of the boards are essentially the same.
Yeah, we'll cut them on the bandsaw, different thicknesses based on how thick it needs to be, but this is what actually gets us the flex that we're gonna have in the end.
Okay, rad.
Thanks, Bill.
If you're just tuning in, we're at the Never Summer Factory in Denver, Colorado, and we are doing a whole week of Facebook Lives here, and we're building a snowboard from absolutely scratch, showing all the processes that it goes through. Oh, wow, that really makes it a lot thinner.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Some meat on.
Okay, crazy. So now, if you're just tuning in, we are putting the flex for this particular model, and we're going to be giving away this board at the Snowboard on the Block Fest. If you can hear me, we're back. We're back. We lost connection. There's so much machines in here. Oh yeah.
All right, we just got done profiling the core, guys. They're going to bring that over here in just a second. And now we're in the area where we actually prep all the cores for the builders. So all these carts that you see right here on the left, these have all the boards that we'll be building for the next day's production. So we've got Pablo and Giovanni over here, and they're getting basically 35 boards for each builder set for the next day. We're doing things like cutting the rubber that goes around the perimeter of the board. That really creates dampness and helps with bonding. Got carbon fiber strips that will be put in different patterns on the core of the snowboard.
How you doing?
Say hi, Pablo. You're on Facebook Live.
Yeah. Hi.
All right.
Pablo's been working here, what, 16 years?
Whoa!
He knows everything there is to know about snowboard.
Amazing.
Ready.
Amazing.
Now that we have the core, it's got its taper, its flex, so you can see now it's got its whoop.
Oh, we broke it. We broke the board already.
Oh man, snap. No, and that's why we put fiberglass in case all that, because that's what keeps the core from breaking. But it's all right. We got 7 more, so we'll get one of those. But I'm just going to use this to show the actual punching of the tip and tail, show how he puts the carbon lines on there, and then we'll have a core ready to go to the builder.
Awesome.
All right, Pablo. There you are.
So that little end piece just gets shaved off in the end.
This gets punched out anyway.
Yeah.
But actually, we won't use this core.
Yeah.
With that, we'll get another one over.
All right.
What he's doing now is he's marking the center of the core. So this is a true twin board we're making. It's our new proto. So it's an asymmetrical true twin board. Super important that he's got the true center mark. This is the reference point that the builder will use to put the core in the cassette and to do the full construction of it.
So, quick question from Jeff Shathroth. How many steps is there to making a snowboard? How many total do you think there is roughly?
We've counted them up. It's roughly 200 steps if you break it down to each individual thing you do. Yeah, it's a ton. Some of those steps might only take 30 seconds, but yeah.
Wow. Okay, that's insane. And if you are commenting your questions, we will get to them. What we're going to do is after we're out of the factory, we're going to go into the offices where it's a bit more quiet, and we can actually answer some of your questions because we're stoked that you guys are writing in.
We're punching the shape of that tip fill. So this has a blade underneath it. This whole thing's going to drop down, punch the tip out, and then we'll encase P-Tex or rubber, depending on the board, that goes around the nose.
All right, let's watch this bad boy machine do its work. Whoa. Great. Oh, I thought this was like a saw, but it kind of punches it all out.
Now it's starting to look more like a snowboard shape. Next thing we're doing is drawing the lines where the carbon fiber goes. So we'll have different carbon fiber configurations depending on the board model, which really affects the torsional flex of it and snappiness of the board. So being a park board, we want a really snappy board. So this board actually has a carbon X on the bottom of the core and carbon V's in the tip and tail on the top. So a lot of carbon.
All right, let's move on over here. Moving right along, moving right along. All right. So, and this is where what's happening right now?
So this is the tip fill being put on. For the Proto and some of our park boards, we'll use a rubber tip fill. It's called harmonic dampening. That really helps with vibrations in the board and just giving a really nice feel, so you get a little bit more feel under your foot. Where the P-Tex tip and tail might be a little more rigid, a little better for like a carving board, something along those lines.
And this board is going to go out for a nice dinner tonight, and that's why we're ironing it.
Yes, there you go. Cool, now do the same thing on the other side. And there we go. We've got a snowboard core.
All right, so that is officially a snowboard core.
Yep.
It's done. It's there. And then, now, is he going to lay up the strips, carbon fiber strips here?
At this point, he just cuts the carbon fiber strips to length.
Right.
And then in Thursday's episode, when we actually build the board, you'll get to see that all laid out, glued up, and being put together.
All right, well, what's next? Let's keep this moving along.
Yeah, next step here is going to be base. So,
Hey. Okay. Come on over.
so what we've got here, this is our Proto die for the Proto snowboard, and these are knife blades that go all around. So we'll take a solid piece of black base material. Yep. We'll place that on the die, and then this whole top of the machine comes down and punches that out, and that's how we get our letters in the base. We'll do the same thing with the other colors that go into it, and that's how we'll get the thing. It's kind of like putting a puzzle together. So this is our big cookie cutter right here.
Whoa, crazy. And then you can see all the other board graphics that you have up there.
Exactly.
That's just a reminder for the different colors. And also, you guys, the reason you guys recycle the different colors too is so to waste less material as well.
Exactly. We do flips on almost all of our bases. So you'll see for every base that's got black with the green eagle, you'll have a corresponding base with a green and then a black eagle. Okay. So we're not throwing away material.
All right, let's see this thing get punched out. Okay, we just punched the graphic out on a die-cut base. So this is essentially going to be the base of the board that we're giving away.
It is, yep. Yep, so he's peeling the letters out. He's going to pop that. We've already got the colored letters punched, so we're going to take on over to the base assembly station.
All right, base assembly station, base assembly station. We're on our way. We're here in the Never Summer Factory. It is unbelievable. We're getting a tour. This place is massive. They've got a lot of crazy things going on here. It's very loud. We have our safety glasses on. We're being cautious. Oh, cool. So now we're putting in the...
Yeah, so we've got all of our different letters. Spell out Proto. We mix up all the colors on that from board to board. So we got about 20 different color waves or combos that we can do there. And what he's doing, he's just going to roll it on in, put a little tape on it. This is going to be the bottom of the base. So after he puts the tape on to hold the letters on, when the board's built, that tape will be peeled off at that point before grinding and finishing. He's got a vacuum on right now, which sucks it down into the table.
Oh, crazy.
It's super important that none of the corners or anything overlap. Has to be perfectly flush. We want to make sure we've got a nice, smooth base. Yep. Each base assembler does about 120 bases a day, so definitely pretty fast-paced, busy position over here.
120 bases a day.
Yep, that's right. So some
wow.
are more complicated than others, but yeah, that's a good average.
Right, yeah, because this one seems pretty simple with the, the kind of the bigger letters and everything, but when you have ones with little tiny, like the eagle one, for example, the little legs or the feathers, that's where it gets a little bit more difficult.
Yep, that's right. We have to have our expert puzzle piece put together, guys.
We bring in the expert puzzle builders.
All right, now he's going to cut the tape. And the next step we're going to do is we need to router the base to the actual shape. So we'll show you that next. And what he's doing here, he's making sure there's no debris or anything under that base. Any little pieces of dirt or anything can actually dent that base, which will cause like a cosmetic blim. So.
All right, thank you. Okay, now we'll keep moving on. This is like never ending. This is amazing. Okay. Flush. All right, so we brought it through a roller. Absolutely no imperfections. Oh, we get to go into a little room here. This is cool. Go ahead, Calf. You get in there.
Yeah, this is a pretty cool part of the process. So that metal template is held up by magnets. If you look to the right, we got a stack of templates. Every size and model has its own shape. And so what he's going to do, he's going to drop those hydraulics on the base. So it pushes it flush. Then we have a big hand router we're going to use. We're going to go around that. And at that point, you'll have your actual perimeter shape of the Proto.
We got Christopher Harris. How do I get a job at Never Summer? I want to put puzzle pieces together.
Well, we are always hiring. We've got about 60 guys here on the production floor, so there's not a ton of turnover. But yeah, if you're interested in a job, shoot an email, info@neversummer.com. Always looking for good factory workers.
Perfect. All right, so right now we are cutting the base to the exact side cut and the shape of the board that we just built the core, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yep, that's correct.
So how come this has its own little box room to it?
So if you look on the ground, you see all these little shavings. Those are all router shavings from that base PTEX. Oh. So we have to keep it in kind of a controlled environment. We don't want these things shooting all over the factory, getting stuck in the presses or whatever, So have to keep the environment as clean as possible.
Nice. That is crazy. It gets its own little room. I like that one. All right, so now where are we headed?
Now we're going to put edges on.
So what are all these crazy metal things?
Okay, so these are going to be, we call them cassettes. They're aluminum templates.
Yeah.
That have the cavity of the board we're building. So this one, for instance, is the 153 rip saw. So this is the exact perimeter shape of the 53 rip saw. The base will sit in that, and then they'll build up the board from that. So as you can see, we've got a ton of them. We've got about a little more than 100 now, I think, different SKUs of Never Summer. So maybe about 14 models or so, and then about 7 or so sizes in each model. So.
All right, so where'd the base go? What's happening?
Let's find it.
Let's find the base. We're trying to find the base. Whoa! We got edges here, but I don't know if we're doing those yet. Oh, we found it. We found the base.
Found it. All right, Daniel here's going to be putting the edge on. Say what up, Daniel. You're live.
Oh man, how's it going?
All right, so this template is similar to the one we used to router on, where it's just got that exact same shape of the base, and now he's got an edge hanging over here.
Oh, here's the edge. Looks like a chainsaw blade.
Yep, and that was actually bent to shape. We have a CNC bender that we use. Our edges come in straight stock, and then we have computer programs that we make that set it to the same perimeter bend as the board we're doing.
Okay, so are we putting the?
We're gonna throw it on there.
Okay, so you put the edges on the actual base and not on the core yet.
Correct. Yeah, they get attached to the base, and we just attach them with little dots of super glue around the base, and that's just enough to get it held to make it to the building process. At that point, we'll completely saturate every layer with glue, and that'll will keep the thing together.
Wow. Okay.
All these little clamps are going to go around it. Like Daniel's just getting set up. So. Good go.
I think one of the cool things that I've been noticing about the factory is that it looks like pretty much most of the guys who work here are all like hardcore dedicated snowboarders. And I mean, I think that's just like one of the best parts about Never Summer is the fact that the dudes who are actually building the boards are doing it because they love it, they love riding, and they're not just here for just another paycheck,
Exactly, yeah. There's a great camaraderie we all have here, We all snowboard together during the winter time. It's pretty cool having a factory here in Denver. We can build prototypes, and our test riders a lot of times are the guys who actually work here. So we'll build a board one day, get it on the snow the next day, test it out. If we want to make tweaks, we have another prototype done within 24 hours and get it right back up there. So it's great for R&D, having the mountain so close, having guys that ride here at the factory. Every now and again, guys will, the boss will say, hey, why don't you go up the hill for the day, get paid to test the product out. So
that's amazing. All right, so right now, this is just a little temporary hold for the edges onto the base, and then this eventually is the core will go here, and this will get squeezed in between the core.
Exactly, and there'll be a layer of fiberglass between and rubber, but yeah, we can get into all that stuff when we do the board construction. What he's doing right now is just getting that all clamped. About every 6 inches he'll put a clamp. It's super important that the edge is nice and flush against that base. You don't want any edge gaps, anything like that. So very important part of the quality assurance process to make sure the edge is put on properly.
Yeah, it's funny because there's almost, we were talking about the base with putting these in with the edges, with the core, and essentially there is no, when he was putting in the sidewall, I was like, oh, you can't cut any corners there, but essentially, I mean, there's nowhere that you can really cut a corner on a snowboard, because if you do, that's going to be something that is going to end up becoming, a warranty issue or something that's going to delam,
Yep, exactly. We got a 3-year warranty. I think one of the best warranties out there, and we stand behind the product 100%. So it all starts here on the production side. Got to make sure it's built right and to our standards.
We got a lot of people asking in. Matt Zulu. I think a lot of people are curious. Oh yes, we got fire and sparks happening.
Yeah, cutting that edge seam to get it lined up perfect.
A lot of people are asking about how do I get a job with Never Summer, and we'll talk about that afterwards. We're going to answer a lot of these questions, but of course, I think these guys are always down for applications, and hit them up.
Yeah, definitely. We all, pretty much everybody here, like guys in the offices from the top down, all started here in the factory. We've all kind of learned from the ground up, so it's pretty cool. I started out building as an intern and then started building boards, working and finishing. Now I'm production manager, so it's a cool company in that we are small enough that it's family oriented, and you can start at the bottom and work your way to the top. It's a realistic thing here.
That is really, really cool. So right now we're just finishing up the final steps of putting the edges onto the base, which will eventually be squished between the core and some fiberglass and the base.
Yep. You'll see he's using pliers here and there, and that's just to make sure that bend is perfect. So as we bend the edges here, and they'll relax a little bit, so just to make sure there are no gaps or anything, we have the hand pliers that we can just bend it, just little tweaks here and there to get it to perfection.
This takes a crazy amount of clamps.
Yeah, it does. These guys have strong forearms.
Yeah, you guys, you should be a climber. You're like, I work at the Never Summer factory. Oh, are you a snowboarder? Nope, I'm a climber. I'm here flexing my forearms all day.
It's all training. So yeah, as he closes up the seam, he's going to Dremel that excess edge off right there. And then we'll just tack it on with a little bit of glue, and from there we have all the components of the board ready to build.
And you put them all that close together just so it never kind of like bumps up?
Sure, yeah. If you have more gaps than that, that's about as far as you want to go. If you have a clamp off, that's when you can get that edge bowing out a little bit, which would create a gap between the base and the edge, which would essentially affect the geometry of the side cut, which we can't have.
Cody Wilson, beards are a must at Never Summer, as you can tell. Oh, we got fire. Oh, the fire's already out. Oh, we got sparks. Now I really feel like we're in the factory. All right, and then we put on the final clamp. Just getting it.
Moving on that seam, look at it, it's nice and tight. We do all full wrap edges here. That's the way to make the strongest board. That edge really helps add with the durability over time, so that's why we wrap them all the way around. So this is that super glue he's putting on, just putting little dots every 6 inches or so on the side, a little closer to the tip and tail.
So you guys add more glue than this eventually, but this is just to keep it held until it gets to the next process?
Exactly, yep. It'll be completely saturated with glue when we actually do the layup process.
Wow. That's a technical looking super glue bottle.
It's a two-part deal where he's going to put a hardener on now, and that'll harden it so it dries super quick. And we'll be ready to go. Each base takes 5 to 7 minutes or so to put together. Each one of these guys puts like 40 to 45 bases together a day, so
wow.
We're all working fast-paced and working hard to make it happen.
And you were saying on an average day, how many boards do you think get built here?
About 200 boards a day on average. So.
Wow.
Yep, we're doing about 30,000 this year.
Woo, woo, woo. That is crazy.
All right.
How could you bend and fit the metal edges around the base sheet with tools from home? Matt Robinson. That is a good question. I don't know.
Yeah, I know when Tim and Tracy, the owners, when we first started out, they were building straight stock edges. Take some pliers. You can actually Dremel out special tools out of take a stock tool and Dremel something out that you can bend it. I know a lot of the stuff we've made here, we've just kind of created. Guys get together how can we make this work and solve the problem and get ingenuitive about it.
Awesome. And so this has an edge on it now.
Yep,
whoa.
See it's a real nice tight seam.
Yeah, it's perfectly smooth. And then, okay, so now what's next? Thank you so much.
Yeah, and I think
hell yeah.
For today, that kind of covers what we're going to go over as
far
as the
perfect.
prep side. Tomorrow we're going to look at the graphics, which we can spend a bunch of time over there.
Okay.
Look at how the graphics are designed all the way through the printing and sublimation. But those are the basic steps of prepping the raw materials. And yeah.
Let's go in the office and answer some of these questions because we got over 1,000 people watching right now asking tons of questions, which is amazing.
That would be stage fright.
Yeah. All right, so we're gonna head back into the offices where it's a bit more quiet. That was a rush. I'm so excited. My safety glasses are fogging. Okay, so
All our employees on the wall here.
oh, nice. Okay, so let's run through here. You could just sit down on the couch here, and run through some of these questions. You guys are amazing for tuning in, and thank you so much for. I can take these things off now, finally. Okay, there we go. Let's see. Hey, Never Summer, want to sponsor me and send me free boards so I don't have to sell my car? Laugh out loud. Daniel McCasey.
Always send sponsor me videos. Get them all the time.
Sponsor me videos are always allowed. Let's see here. Nate Nelson, so you're giving away a board, question mark. Yes, we are going to give away a board at the Snowboard on the Block Festival this Friday and Saturday, the 14th and 15th. And the board that we're actually building in there, we're going to be giving away. So if you're around Colorado or Denver, or you want to hop in your car or a plane, come over and get your chance to win. Robert Perry, I only ride Never Summers. Boom.
Thanks, Robert. You're the man.
Shout out. Let's see. Where is Laura? Best tour guide. Aaron Parker.
Laura's got class today. Oh, okay. So, yep, she's here. She's here Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So she'll be here tomorrow.
Steve Arpin, is Jared single?
I know who you are, Steve.
Let's see. Charlie Hotch. I want to do a tour. That factory looks epic. So do you guys do tours for just the public?
Yeah, we definitely do. Just call in. We're listed there. If you Google us, it'll come up. You can also email info@neversummer.com and just request to set up a tour. We really only need a few days' notice typically, but we're open Monday through Friday, giving tours about 9 o'clock to 2.
Okay, and a lot of people have been asking in about saying, like, I want to work at Never Summer, or how do I get a job at Never Summer? So is there a way for people to apply or send in a resume?
Sure, yeah. We're always taking resumes and applications. We get people who just stop in all the time, just asking if we're hiring. We love giving a tour to those guys, have them fill out an application, but same email address. Just email info@neversummer with resumes and your employment information.
Okay. Let's see here. I got a bunch more questions. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Green Arwen, do you guys build skateboards also?
We do build longboards, so yeah, we're kind of at the tail end of the longboard season with fall hitting. Full bore snowboards now, but yeah, we have a full lineup of longboards that we make.
Chris Harris, who is Tim and Tracy?
Tim and Tracy are the two founders of the company. So they started Never Summer back in '91. Actually, if you look back behind me here, see this old wooden board back in the early '80s when they were in high school woodshop class. The story goes they started building, messing around, making snowboards. So they had a company that they called it Swift Snowboards, really small. I think they made a few hundred snowboards in like a 5-year span, but that's kind of where they started, just doing it in their garage. And then
and that's one of the first boards they ever made back in the day.
Yep, that's one of the early ones for sure. So yep, definitely like a mid-'80s style, and it's evolved to this is the new Swift now, kind of
Throwback.
The throwback, but yep, super sick powder board. It's still got kind of the same general attributes as the original. But yeah, those guys from Fort Collins still in here every day and big part of the company, and yep, they've done a great job building it to what it is today.
Steve Rooney, this is kind of a good question. Why is the edge joint on the tip of the board where it gets more knocks?
Actually, the edge is it's on the tail. So yep.
What's that?
It is on the tail.
The where the edges combine. And I would actually think the tip and tail almost get maybe the least amount of knocks because if it was on the center of your board, there's so much pressure turning or like hitting rails and landing jumps.
You definitely want it solid on the side edge. But yeah, we always have our seams just meet right there at the tip and the tail.
Never Summer, so hot right now. Lauren Quanatron. All right, so hot right now. Let's see. Just looking through some of these questions because there's a ton of them on here. Sean Theodore. Advantage to attaching edges before molding.
For us, we've found that's the best way to keep it from there being gaps between the edge and the base. We want to make sure it's nice and secure and flush. We are always trying different ways to do the production process and whatnot, and we've just found that we get more gaps in the edge if we don't attach them before we build them.
Okay, good question, Mr. Theodore. Let's see. Oh, beards are Never Summer. Yeah.
Hairy dudes around here.
Where are you guys located, Justin Lindell?
So we're located in Denver, kind of the north side of town, or excuse me, the northeast side of town. Yep, and we're always open to have people in, so we're not a secret location.
Tim Alexander, can I get a job at Never Summer without a beard? Good question.
We do discriminate against people without beards. Sorry.
Let's see. What do you guys use for your sidewall material? Matt Stumball.
So we do all P-Tech sidewalls. We find that's the most durable material and lasts the best. So.
Okay. Let's see. Sorry, we're just scrolling through. Got tons and tons of questions here. Hundreds of questions. You guys just shipped out the Prototype 2. Super excited. Dan Yanish. Every single person there is a hardcore snowboarder. Tony Evans. For sure. That was one thing we were talking about. It is really cool to see a snowboard company and the people who work there and who are actually building the boards that you're buying are themselves, hardcore snowboarders, and they're passionate snowboarders, and they're not just here, collecting a paycheck. And I think that's something that's really, really cool, and that it's kind of the right direction for snowboarding.
Yeah, there's a lot of passion here, that's for sure.
Yeah. Let's see here. Someone's asking what time it is. You're on your phone watching this, right? Or computer? Let's see. Yeah, how do I get a job? We talked about that. How do I register to win the board that you guys are giving away? You're going to have to go to Snowboard on the Block Festival. because that's where they're giving it away. Snowboard on the Block, 14th and 15th here in Denver, Colorado. Let's see. What is the advantage, Sean Teodor, what is the advantage of attaching the pieces before molding versus in layup?
Yeah, we just feel keeping everything together basically makes it so you don't have pieces sliding out of place in the layup. You know, we fix everything like the tip fill, for instance, to the core and the edges to the base, just so it all stays together. So you're not trying to keep track of things through the layup process. It keeps it pretty straightforward and simple.
I just saw somebody commented. Do you guys make any type of custom boards here for people?
Sure, we'll do projects for different companies. You know, we do have a certain amount of minimum for a board project, but yeah, we'll do custom projects all the time, whether it be for like a promotional board for like a liquor company. For instance, we're doing a ton of Breck brewery boards right now, things like that. And then we also have guys who, are just kind of want to start their own line or want a handful of custom boards to promote something or for themselves. And yeah, we'll accommodate that when we can.
All right. Well, hey, thank you guys so much for tuning in today. And the good news is that we're going to be back tomorrow and all the way through Friday, because we're going to go take you through the whole entire process of building a snowboard from the very beginning until the very end, where it's actually rideable. And then we're going to give it away at the Snowboard on the Block Festival. This is Jared White, production manager. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Eddie.
And we will be back tomorrow. Tune in around what time? Noonish, maybe-ish? Yeah, probably around noon. If you want to click on the notifications button to find out. And then we're going to be building some more snowboards tomorrow here at the Never Summer Factory, Denver, Colorado. Peace out. Thanks for watching, guys.
Thanks, guys. See you tomorrow.